Continuing from the last session, today's question is starting from the question number 3. The insurgency in Northeast India has been sustained by a complex mix of historical, economic, social, political, and external factors. Addressing these root causes will be key to finding a lasting solution to the problem examined. So now we are talking about the insurgency problem of Northeast. Look at this map. This is from the Ministry of Home Affairs, and they are giving some information about major militant groups in Northeast, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam like we know, Bodo Security Force, then ULFA, then NSCN. So now let's come to the discussion part. We all know that Northeast is popular for its diversity in the ethnic groups. There are over 100 of ethnic groups in the Northeast, is having a strong sense of identity and their uniqueness. Now they want to retain this uniqueness in their political, social orientation as well. So it's okay then. What is insurgency? Because insurgency is essentially a violent rebellion against the political organization when the ethnic communities feel that their interests have been neglected and they are not properly represented. You have seen that we have different ethnic groups with unique tasks or uniqueness in their political and social orientation. So they want their representation in the political system, even if they found that their political or their others' interests have been neglected and not properly represented, then they turned into violent rebellion, and that is termed as insurgency. Now, the large prevalence of insurgency has negatively impacted the prevalence of peace in the Northeast. This not only affects the socio-economic development of the region, but has a negative effect on the country as well. Now, if you apart from this, I'm not talking about this now. I just want to give you one example. You know about what is the situation of law and order in Manipur now. You also know that why this violence going on there. You know about Métis and Cookie, and you know about who is claiming this aesthetics, right? I'm just giving you a hint. So, but this, what is happening there in Manipur is actually impacting in the Delhi itself, in the country itself, right? In the capital itself, because more means the more attention is needed there. So we need what a kind of stability in every state, then only we can say that our country is in a good condition, or you can say it is stable condition. So for a peace in the whole country, there should be peace in every nook and corner of the country. Now, what are the causes of the insurgency in Northeast? First, nationality, involving concept of a distinct homeland as a separate nation and pursuit of the realization of that goal by its votaries. এইটোত মই আৰু বেছি নকলেও গম পাব যে সকলোৱে এখন এখন নিজৰ যদি দেশ বিচাৰে তেন্তে কি ধৰণৰ সিচুৱেশ্যন হৈছে বা কিহৰ কাৰণে ইয়াৰ উৎপত্তি হৈছে আমি এজ এ অসমীয়া আমি সকলোৱে সৰুৰ পৰা দেখি আহিছো গম পাওঁ so you know this particular point. No more discussion on that. I'm leaving it to you how you write about this nationality. Okay, then ethnic regions, involving assertion of numerically smaller and less dominant tribal groups against the political and cultural hold of dominant tribal group. In Assam, this also takes the form of tension between local and migrant communities. I mean, nationality যদি মানে nationality কথা কওঁ, চবতকে প্ৰথম কথা হৈছে আমাৰ নিজৰ এক্সিষ্টেন্স, আৰু সেই এক্সিষ্টেন্সৰ কাৰণে লাগিব পিচ। যদি ভায়োলেন্ট ৱেত যদি সকলোৱে কিবা বিচাৰিবলৈ হয়, হাউ কুড ইট বি পচিবল, ৰাইট? We want development, but development in a peaceful way. But on the contrary to that, what is going on is the tension or stress building between the fightings, or between the, we can say, hostile conditions among the different communities. Even in Assam, you can see that this is taking the tension form between local and migrant communities. And in the Assam case, this is a separate thing. We know from that things that are happening from 1979 itself. So we know about that. Then sub-regional regions involving movements which acts for recognition of sub-regional aspirations and often come in direct conflict with the state governments or even the autonomous council. Then development issues like, poverty, unemployment, lack of connectivity, inadequate healthcare, education facilities, feeling of neglect and non-participation in governing their own affairs have contributed to the insurgency in the region. And I definitely say, I have to say, this is the main reason. First of all, unemployment, underdevelopment, lack of connectivity, poverty, inadequate healthcare. These are the main reasons behind the insurgency. Then governance deficit, informal economy and governance, and shortage of resources. Then porous international borders with different topography. This may be another region, because the Northeast region is sharing borders with different countries, like most, about Myanmar, Bangladesh, China, means autonomous Tibet, now China. So we are sharing border with every country of this region, right? So that is again through a difficult topography. Then sense of alienation from the mainstream due to the overwhelming presence of security forces, associated issues of human rights. Okay, I think you have heard about it. Armed Force Special Power Act. So that is again can be considered as a reason for feeling or kind of sense of alienation from the mainstream, that why this APSAPA, means Armed Force Special Power Act, is still even present today also in this region, although it is being removed from other parts of the country, except some parts. Mostly it is removed, right? So this type of security forces and associated issues of human rights makes the sense of alienation from the mainstream. Then regions that sustain insurgency in the northeast because of sense of isolation, deprivation, exploitation, distance from New Delhi, and meager representation in the Lok Sabha has further reduced the vox populi being heard in the corridors of power, leading to more disillusionment in the dialogue process, and thereby making call of the gun more attractive. Then demographic changes because of the influx of refugees from Bangladesh, then former East Pakistan, into Assam, that led to a dramatic change in the demographic landscape of the region. Then lack of economic developments. Government of India's economic policies have also fueled resentment and insecurity amongst the people. Due to various factors, the development of this region has lagged behind, so resulting in the lack of employment opportunities. And if unemployment issue is there, then there will obviously this type of insurgent groups going on, because the youths which are unemployed are easily lured and by these very insurgent groups in order to earn easy money. Then internal displacement, and again it is an ongoing problem. From the 1990s to the start of 2011, over 8 lakhs peoples were forced to flee their homes in the episode of inter-ethnic violence in Western Assam along the border between Assam and Meghalaya and Tripura. Then external support is all there, obviously, because increasing evidence of China's revival, its covert offensive in the regions. Pakistan Special Services Group, SSG, also trained the Nagar guerrillas in the 1960s through their bases in East Pakistan, now Bangladesh. Then conclusion, you can say that how, or way forward, we can mention like multi-stakeholder approach, a wider representation, not just of civil society, scholars and others, but also of professionals is required at any forum addressing this concern of Northeast. Then understanding emotional and psychological aspect of the problems of the different states of the Northeast. Any meaningful policy for the Northeast should address the specifics of each state and region. Then economic development, opening up of economy of this region may be expedited, making way for new investments, acquiring of productive assets, reaching potential in tourism. So many factors are there where economics, lots of economic potential are there. Only thing is to just make them grow some with some good policies. Then tackling illegal immigration from the neighboring countries. Identity cards and work permits for those who come for work should be made mandatory. Then stress on dialogues as ongoing process to reach concrete solution by involving all the stakeholders and not just a single group. This may be the probable way forward, but you can write many from your own part. Then current government measures like constitutional protection in 6th schedule, then protected area permit, right? Due to security reasons, certain areas have been declared as protected area or restricted areas where no foreigner can enter or stay without the permit from the competent authorities. Then act is policy, and this policy is to enhance economic cooperation with Southeast Asian countries that will benefit Northeast, and Guwahati will be the gateway for this. Then infrastructure development. Yesterday also I talked about the Kaladan multimodal project to provide connectivity of Northeast with the rest of India from Mizoram. Then this trilateral highway, I also talk about this in one of my lectures, that More of Manipur will be connected to this Thailand highway that is passing through Mandalay and then Thailand, that will facilitate Northeast trade with Southeast Asia. Remember, trilateral highway, More, Mandalay, and Thailand, and then Northeast Road Sector Development Scheme, NERSDS, Northeast Road Sector Development Scheme, again a region-based road development program in India. So this is and that is enough for this particular question. And one question is obviously going to come. I'm not guaranteeing it, but maybe in a different way, question may be asked from this particular insurgency problem in Northeast. And we have discussed enough, because one of our previous lecture also, I have discussed about the Northeast insurgency problem. Now let's come to another question of today's class, and that is from the question paper, your GS paper 4, that is ethics and integrity point of view. And question is, how important is honesty in one's life? Describe an incident from the lives of great leaders that has impacted you the most. So it's you that will be impacted through the lives of one great leader. You have to give example from your side. Let's discuss about some from this one. Now, this is again question paper JS4. I already talked you, but this question is talking about what? Honesty. So honesty, let's start with one quote. Honesty is a very expansive gift. Don't expect it from cheap people. Warren Buffett. Now, honesty is adhering to the highest standards of accuracy, and truth simply means holding the facts as they are. That is upholding the truth. Honesty মানে হৈছে তুমি ট্ৰুথটো, তুমি সঁচাটোক সদায় ধৰি ৰাখা। তুমি যদি কিবা ভুলো কৰা, তেন্তে মানি লোৱা যে তোমাৰ দ্বাৰা এই ভুল হৈছে, right? Being honest means choosing not to lie, not to steal, not to cheat, or not to deceive in any way. It includes both honesty to others and oneself, and about one's motives and inner reality. Self-realism is the most important part in our day-to-day life, and honesty is related to that also, because you should not cheat yourself also, right? You should not tell lie to yourself also. Now, honesty is important in one's life because it creates credibility. You know about Ashok Khemka. He is known as a crusader of honesty. He has been transferred so many times. Currently, I think he's in 58 years, right? So very soon he will be retired. But during his tenure, he had been transferred many times for taking bold steps or not going against the honesty. Ashok Khemka, naam to mনত ৰাখিব, Ashok Khemka. So builds, then second one is the first you got it, that creates credibility. Second is builds leadership quality. Mahatma Gandhi, who led the Indian freedom struggle with one of the core values is truthfulness. It influenced many leaders like Rajendra Prasad, Vallabhbhai Patel, etc. So then third is promotes openness. Honesty in the public life of a person helps to promote transparency and accountability of the system. It also reflects an individual's adherence to one's own integrity and shows bravery. Then here we can give the example of IPS officer D. Rupa, who showcased the irregularities in treating the VIP criminals. IPS officer D. Rupa. Okay. So that's an example of promoting openness and her integrity and bravery of showcasing the irregularities in VIP criminals, treating the VIP criminals. You know about VIP criminals, right? সবে জানা চাগে আপোনালোক সকলেও জানে যে ভিআইপি সকলক ট্ৰিট কৰা এটা বেলেগ ধৰণৰ হৈ থাকে আৰু ভিআইপি ক্ৰিমিনেল হলেও তেওঁলোকক বেলেগ ধৰণে ট্ৰিট কৰা হয়, সেইটোক চৌকাছ কৰিছিলে তেখেতে. So it is an about example of promoting openness. Then foundation of core values and principles. Honesty helps in developing good attributes like kindness, discipline, truthfulness, moral integrity, and more. So honesty থাকিলে আমি এই attribute বিলাক achieve কৰিব পাৰো বা develop কৰিব পাৰো, যেনেকৈ kindness, discipline, truthfulness, integrity. As for example, in Mahabharata, let's give an example of this mythological mystical story of Mahabharata. In Mahabharata, Karna, it was like Mahabharata, just stories of a colon. This Mahabharata is a kind of philosophical way of how you have to live your life. You have to learn many things you can learn many things from Mahabharata. Like this example, see, in Mahabharata, Karna was honest to his king Duryodhana. ঠিক honest কৰ্ণ দুৰ্যোধন ৰজাৰ কাৰণে বহুত honest আছিল. Till his last date does not accept the offer presented by Lord Krishna to become the king of Hastinapur by supporting Pandavas. বহুত last momentলৈকে কৰ্ণই তেওঁৰ ৰজা যিজন আছিল দুৰ্যোধন, তেখেতৰ এগেইনষ্টত নগ'ল, তেখেতৰ কাৰণে অনেষ্ট থাকিল। যদিও ভগৱান কৃষ্ণই বহুত তেওঁক অফাৰ দিছিল যে তই হস্তিনাপুৰৰ ৰজা হ'ব পাৰিবি যদি পাণ্ডৱক ছাপোৰ্ট কৰ, বাট নাও হি ষ্টিক থ্ৰু দ্য অনেষ্টি, right? So that is the foundation of core values and principles. Then solution to various issues, like for all human problems, honesty is the ultimate solution. Corruptions, nepotism, impartiality, and they are everywhere in the society, but being honest, one can minimize these issues. Being honest, you can restrain yourself from involving in such issues, and thereby you can contribute towards what we can say, reducing these social evils present in our society. Then 6, way to successful and peaceful life. It is the easiest thing you can practice to be happy, successful, and fulfilled. Dishonesty causes stress, frustration, instead of making things much more simpler than telling the truth. যদি dishonest হয় তেতিয়া আমি এনি টাইম ষ্ট্ৰেছত থাকিম, ফ্ৰাষ্ট্ৰেশ্যনত থাকিম, ৰাইট? তাতকে going through truthful way or honest way, you will be living a life more simpler and more happy, and that will be a successful one. Then strengthen relationship. When a person is honest, it can strengthen bonds. Honesty is what makes relationship stronger. Then one incident from the lives of great leaders that impacted me the most. Okay, you can give one example from your side also. Just we can refer this example. APJ Abdul Kalam is a fine example. APJ Abdul Kalam is a fine example of honesty, integrity, and simplicity. Mr. Kalam had never misused his official position throughout his professional and public career. Once what happened in 2014, a company called Saubhagya Wet Grinder was a sponsor in an event where APJ Abdul Kalam was the chief guest. The sponsor presented a gift to him, which he respectfully declined to accept. The sponsor explained that it was just a grinder and requested him to accept. He took the gift without any further argument, but later তেওঁ কি কৰিলে নিজৰ পাৰ্চনেল একাউণ্টৰ পৰা এখন চেক কাটি পেলাই সেই মাৰ্কেট প্ৰাইচটো যিমানটো সেই গ্ৰিণ্ডাৰটোৰ দাম আছিল সেই মাৰ্কেট প্ৰাইচটোৰ দামত এখন চেক দি দিলে চ' ডিক্লাইনো কৰা নহ'ল আৰু তেওঁলোকৰ গিফ্ট একচেপ্টো নকৰিলে তেওঁ অনেষ্টিত থাকিল right then Arutha example once Ramakrishna Paramhansa asked his disciple to steal a little rice from their home but there was a one condition that nobody sees them stealing the rice all of his disciples did the task except Swami Vivekananda jetia Ramakrishna tekhetok hurile je kiyo teo enekoi saultu anor pa lukuai sur kori আনিব নোৱাৰিলে তেতিয়া স্বামী বিবেকানন্দই কি ক'লে জানে তেওঁ ক'লে যে আনৰ পৰা ঠিক আছে লুকুৱাই আনিম কিন্তু মই এজনৰ পৰা কেতিয়াও লুকুৱাব নোৱাৰো আৰু সেইজন হৈছে আমি নিজেই because whatever we do it is never hidden from one person and that is ourselves so এইখিনি পৰা from this incident we have learned how to be honest in public life and private life and how to differentiate public life activities and private life activities. Overall, we can say that we have to stick to the honesty because thereby we can integrate ourselves with different other attributes like integrity and you can say most importantly truthfulness and then you can say that with this you will be having a simpler but a successful life with a happier inner sense. So that way, we can say that honesty is very important part of everyone's life. So that's all for today. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Take care.